Okay, the first one might sound kind of silly, but I think it's important that everyone should know how to park their golf carts when they go shopping or when you go to the various town squares or the rec centers. You want to make sure you take up two spots in one parking spot that a car would normally take up. This is the correct way to park. Somebody should pull in all the way, and the other person will stay back a little bit further. That way, everybody can get out easily out of their golf cart. So keep that in mind. That's the best way to park your golf cart. You don't want to tick anybody off if you take up one spot, like this lady did right here. Uh, if this happens all the time, there's not just not going to be very many parking spots for everybody. Okay, on your smartphone, you want to download these three apps. The first one is the Villages Home Finder app. It has a lot of information about the homes that are for sale in the villages, and it even tells you which homes that day are open houses. So download that one. Next one is the Daily Sun mobile app. It gives you late breaking news, what's going on in the villages. It also gives you alert messages if there's a traffic accident in the villages, so it's going to tell you to go around that area. It also gives you updates on the music in the three squares, and if there's a cancellation in the square, they're going to let you know about it. And then finally, we got the GPS app. This is a wonderful app. It's going to give you good directions either by car or by golf cart. It knows all the golf cart trails in the villages, and it'll get you there as quick as possible if you use this app. Especially you people who are buying all the new homes down in the Fenny area. In that area south of the turnpike, a lot of the GPSs in your car have not been updated, but they update this app constantly. So it will not be dark in that area on your GPS if you have this app. So go ahead, download that one. I believe it's $6.99 in the App Store, and it's well worth it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is landscaping and all these different kinds of bushes and flowers and plants that are down in the villages. Now, this past winter, we had a couple of really bad days of frost, and you can see what the frost did to these plants. I hate to see you spend a lot of money on decorating the front of your house or in the backyard and so forth, and then have them damaged by the frost. It doesn't happen a lot down here, but when it does, you can see what's going to happen to your flowers, your plants. A lot of these will come back. A lot of the people, they cut them down, but some of them will not come back. And these are the ones you want to be aware of. Some of them are more frost tolerant than others. I'm not really sure which plants those are. Just ask the questions when you do buy these things. Your landscaper will probably help you out on this too. But again, save money. Ask questions first and make sure you do it right the first time. Because it's sad when you see what this happens to all the plants down here. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are these sneak routes, these quicker ways to get around the villages. You want to avoid the roundabouts as much as possible because they're a little bit slower to get around, plus they're dangerous, especially when the snowbirds, those seasonal renters are in town. So the best thing to do is get a map and just check it over and find out quicker ways to get around the villages. One of them is Route 301 on the western side of the villages. This is a great way to get down from say 42 up north all the way down to Brownwood. This is a real good way. Plus on the eastern side of the villages, there's racetrack. That road is over by the American Legion, and that's a real quick way to get from say Pine Ridge all the way up to the Spanish Springs area. So check that out. Learn these routes. Also consider Canal Street in the middle of the villages. This is another north-south route that you can take to avoid these roundabouts. So again, look over a map, just try to find quicker ways to get around. Last but not least are those roundabouts that I've been talking about. There's not a week that goes by that you don't hear about an accident in these roundabouts. For some reason, people just don't know how to navigate these things. And I'm just going to spend a few seconds here showing you the best way to do it. Pay attention to these signs. There's two kinds of signs in the villages. Here's one that does not show you the two lanes that you're supposed to be in. So you got to really be aware of what's coming up on ahead of you. And here's that second sign. Now this is going to show you two lanes. Okay, so the far right lane, you can go to the right at the very first road or straight, but you can't go all the way to the left on El Camino. Only the person in the left lane can do that. So these signs are right before the roundabouts. Pay attention to them because it's really, really important. My next door neighbor, he got hit in one of these roundabouts by somebody that's been living here for 8 years. So you think it's somebody that's been living here just a few weeks or a few months, but he got hit by somebody that has been living here for a long time. I'll be leaving some links about these roundabouts, but it's really important to know how they work. I have a dash cam in my car, and I've caught a few really good examples of what can happen in the roundabout. So here's one of them. Check this out.
Oh, God, cut right in front of him.
Okay, you can see what happened there. The guy was in the right lane. He was supposed to go right on Glenview Road or straight on Buena Vista. He chose to go towards El Camino, and that is a no-no. You can see right here, these are the lanes you're supposed to be in. So it's really important to understand how the roundabouts work in the villages. There's like 30 of them. So a real important tip here is when you enter that roundabout, keep an eye on the person on your right. So make sure that he does not do this. It's really important. I'll be leaving some links for everybody. Take care.